Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest battle you will ever fight is not against people, not against circumstances, not even against failure. It is the battle to master yourself. Most people want to lead, but few are willing to lead themselves first. We admire great leaders, successful entrepreneurs, and world changers. But the truth is, before they ever influence the world, they first conquered their own habits, thoughts. Let me ask you a question. If you were to meet yourself today as a leader, would you follow you? The difference between those who rise and those who remain stagnant is not talent, intelligence, or even opportunity. It is self-leadership. It is the ability to govern your own mind, discipline your actions, and take full responsibility for your life's direction. And here's the reality: you will never rise above the level of your self-leadership. At the end of this message, you will understand why mastering yourself is the key to unlocking your true leadership potential. If you're ready to take control of your life, your vision, and your destiny, stay with me, because what you're about to hear will change how you lead forever. The foundation of true leadership begins with self-leadership. Leadership is often misunderstood. Many believe it is about controlling others, holding a position of power, or being the loudest voice in the room. But true leadership does not begin with others. It begins with you. The most difficult person you will ever have to lead is yourself. Before you can command respect, influence people, or create change in the world, you must first master the art of leading your own life. The greatest leaders in history did not start with armies, organizations, or governments. They started with a personal conviction, a deep sense of self-discipline, and the ability to govern their own actions. Leadership is not about position, it is about function. It is not about having followers, it is about being worthy of being followed. The true test of leadership is not how well you manage others, but how well you manage yourself. The greatest enemy to your success is not external, it is internal. It is not your environment, your upbringing, or even your circumstances that determine your leadership potential. It is your ability to control your own decisions, discipline your own actions, and develop the character required to lead effectively. Many people want to change the world, but they have yet to change themselves. They want to influence others, yet they lack influence over their own habits, thoughts, and emotions. The hardest leadership battle is not fought in boardrooms, organizations, or public platforms. It is fought in the mind, the heart, and the daily disciplines of life. Self-leadership is the foundation of all great leadership because it determines the level to which you can lead others. You cannot take people where you have never been. You cannot demand excellence from others while accepting mediocrity from yourself. You cannot expect people to follow a vision you have not first committed to with discipline, sacrifice, and persistence. Leadership begins with integrity, the alignment between what you say and what you do. People follow authenticity, not authority. They are drawn to individuals who are not only talking about principles, but living them. One of the greatest tragedies in leadership is when people attain a position of influence without first mastering self-leadership. This is why we see leaders rise to prominence only to fall in disgrace, because their ability to lead others outpaced their ability to lead themselves. Titles do not make leaders, self-governance does. A true leader does not need a title, position, or public recognition to be effective. They lead by example, by consistency, and by their unwavering commitment to personal growth. If you want to become a great leader, start with yourself. Take control of your thoughts, your habits, your emotions, and your actions. Develop the discipline to stay committed to your purpose, even when no one is watching. Hold yourself accountable to the highest standard before expecting it from others. Leadership is not about what you do in front of people. It is about who you are when no one is looking. You will never rise above the level of your self-leadership. The world does not need more people chasing power and influence. It needs more individuals who have mastered themselves, who have conquered their weaknesses, and who have become an example worth following. If you want to change your life, change how you lead yourself. If you want to impact others, first govern your own actions. Because before you can lead the world, you must first master you. A life without purpose is like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly, vulnerable to every wave, and easily blown off course by the slightest storm. Purpose is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Without it, you will spend your life reacting to circumstances instead of creating your destiny. Purpose gives meaning to your existence, direction to your decisions, and clarity to your leadership. You cannot master self-leadership until you have first defined the destination toward which you are leading yourself. Many people live their lives without a clear sense of purpose. They wake up each day simply to survive, moving from one responsibility to another without ever asking themselves, why am I here? What is the reason for my existence? Leadership begins when you answer these questions with conviction. Purpose is not something you choose. It is something you discover. It is the reason you were created, the assignment that only you can fulfill, and the unique contribution you are meant to bring to the world. Until you find your purpose, you will be easily swayed by distractions, external pressures, and the expectations of others. But once you identify your purpose, you become focused, intentional, and unshakable. When you do not know your purpose, you waste time, energy, and resources on things that do not matter. You say yes to everything because you have no guiding principle for what truly deserves your commitment. You pursue success without meaning, chasing after achievements that do not fulfill you. But when you have a clear purpose, you make decisions with confidence. You do not allow temporary pleasures to distract you from your long-term vision. You are not driven by money, fame, or external validation. You are driven by the calling on your life. Purpose simplifies your decision-making process because it creates a filter through which you evaluate every opportunity, relationship. Self-leadership without purpose is like running a race without a finish line. No matter how fast you move, you are going nowhere. This is why so many talented, intelligent, and capable people struggle with frustration and dissatisfaction. They have the skills, the potential, and even the discipline, but they lack a clear vision of what they are working toward. You do not lead yourself effectively by merely developing good habits and strong discipline. You lead yourself by aligning your daily actions with your life's purpose. Purpose is what gives you endurance when challenges arise. It is what keeps you standing when the storms of life hit. Without purpose, Obstacles feel like barriers. With purpose, they become stepping stones. A person without purpose quits when the journey gets hard, but a person driven by purpose sees hardship as part of the process. Purpose transforms struggles into lessons, failures into growth, and delays into preparation. The most successful leaders in history were not those who had an easy path, but those who had an unshakable commitment to their purpose. If you want to master self-leadership, you must first define your purpose. You must identify the reason you were created and align every aspect of your life with that vision. You must make decisions based on destiny, not convenience. You must wake up each day with a clear understanding of where you are going and why it matters. Leadership is not just about guiding others. It is about guiding yourself toward the fulfillment of your purpose. Until you do that, you're not leading. You are merely existing. Potential alone is not enough. The world is filled with people who have great ideas, remarkable talents, and extraordinary dreams, yet never achieve anything significant. Why? Because potential without discipline is wasted energy. It is like having a powerful engine with no fuel, full of capacity, but unable to move forward. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is not intelligence, opportunity, or luck. It is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to control your thoughts, actions, and emotions in alignment with your goals and purpose. It is the power to do what needs to be done even when you do not feel like doing it. Many people rely on motivation to take action, but motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Self-discipline, however, is consistent. It is the internal force that keeps you moving forward regardless of circumstances, distractions, or obstacles. The most successful leaders in history did not always feel like showing up, working hard, or making sacrifices. But they did it anyway. They understood that discipline is the price of greatness. They refused to allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They mastered the art of delayed gratification, choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure. If you cannot discipline yourself, you cannot lead yourself. If you cannot lead yourself, you will never be able to lead others effectively. One of the greatest lies people believe is that discipline is restrictive, that it takes away freedom. The truth is the opposite. Discipline does not limit you, it liberates you. It gives you control over your own life. When you lack discipline, you become a slave to your impulses, your emotions, and the demands of others. You procrastinate, make excuses, and live in a cycle of regret. But when you develop self-discipline, you take charge of your destiny. You break free from distractions, bad habits, and excuses. You become intentional about your time, your decisions, and your growth. Discipline is the key to consistency, and consistency is the key to mastery. Success is not built on occasional effort, but on daily habits. The person who shows up every day, even when they do not feel like it, will always outperform the person who only works when they are inspired. This is why talent without discipline leads nowhere. Hard work, perseverance, and consistency will always outweigh natural ability. The most gifted individuals in the world are often surpassed by those who simply refuse to quit. To master self-leadership, you must develop the discipline to do what is necessary, not just what is comfortable. You must train your mind to focus, your body to act, and your emotions to submit to your vision. You must hold yourself accountable to the highest standard, not just when others are watching, but when you are alone. True discipline is not about public performance. It is about private commitment. It is what you do in the unseen moments that determine whether your potential will be realized. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of discipline. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Without it, dreams remain fantasies, goals remain unfulfilled, and potential remains unused. If you want to turn your vision into reality, develop self-discipline. It is the foundation of self-leadership, the fuel of success, and the ultimate key to unlocking your true potential. The greatest leaders are not those who shift blame, make excuses, or justify their failures. They are those who take full responsibility for their actions, decisions, and results. Personal accountability is the foundation of true self-leadership. It is the ability to own your life, your successes, your failures, and everything in between. Until you take responsibility for where you are, you will never have the power to change where you are going. Many people live their lives as victims of circumstances. They blame their background, their environment, their lack of resources, or even other people for their struggles. They wait for external changes to improve their situation, never realizing that the real power to change lies within. Leadership begins when you stop pointing fingers and start looking in the mirror. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, you regain control over it. Excuses weaken leadership. Every time you make an excuse, you surrender your power to something outside yourself. When you say, I failed because of them, or I could not succeed because of my situation, you give control of your life to external factors. But when you say, I take responsibility for my decisions and my results, you reclaim the authority to change your future. Personal accountability means acknowledging that you are the product of your choices. Even if life has been unfair, even if circumstances have been difficult, your response is always within your control. One of the most dangerous mindsets is entitlement, the belief that you deserve success without effort, that you should receive rewards without responsibility. True leaders reject entitlement and embrace accountability. They do not wait for opportunities to be handed to them. They create opportunities through discipline, consistency, and ownership of their actions. They do not expect others to solve their problems. They find solutions. Personal accountability is not just about owning your failures. It is also about owning your potential. Too many people downplay their ability to change, grow, and achieve greatness. They tell themselves, I am not good enough. I do not have what it takes. Or, I will never be able to lead. These are self-imposed limitations, and they are a form of avoiding responsibility. When you refuse to acknowledge your potential, you excuse yourself from the responsibility of developing it. Leadership is about setting a standard for yourself and holding yourself to it, regardless of whether others are watching. True leaders do not need external supervision. They govern themselves. They do not wait for someone else to push them. They push themselves. They set personal expectations and exceed them. When they fall short, they do not make excuses. They make adjustments. Every great leader has faced setbacks, failures, and disappointments. The difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is accountability. Leaders do not see failure as an endpoint. They see it as feedback. They analyze their mistakes, learn from them, and take responsibility for correcting them. They do not allow their past to define them. They use it as a lesson to refine them. You cannot master self-leadership without mastering personal accountability. Your life is the result of your choices, and your future will be shaped by the decisions you make today. The moment you embrace responsibility, you unlock the power to change your life. If you want to be a great leader, start by leading yourself. Hold yourself accountable to the highest standard. Refuse to make excuses and take full ownership of your destiny. No one else is responsible for your success. Only you are. Leadership is not a destination, it is a lifelong journey. The moment you stop growing, you stop leading. True self-leadership requires a commitment to continuous improvement, a relentless pursuit of becoming better every single day. Growth is not automatic, it is intentional. You do not become a better leader, a wiser decision maker, or a more disciplined individual by chance. You must make personal growth a priority, a daily discipline, and a non-negotiable standard for your life. Many people desire success, but few are willing to grow into the person capable of sustaining it. They want influence, wealth, and achievement, but they neglect the process of development. Success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by becoming the person who can handle it. If you want to lead at a higher level, you must first grow into a person who can manage greater responsibilities, challenges, and opportunities. The greatest leaders in history did not rise by luck or talent alone. They grew into their roles through relentless learning, discipline, and self-refinement. One of the biggest traps in life is complacency. The belief that where you are today is good enough. Complacency is the enemy of greatness. The moment you believe you have arrived is the moment you begin to decline. Growth requires humility, the willingness to admit that no matter how much you have achieved, there is always more to learn. The most successful people in the world never stop learning. They read, they study, they seek mentors, and they surround themselves with individuals who challenge them to think bigger and do better. They are not satisfied with yesterday's success because they understand that new levels require new growth. Personal growth is not always comfortable. It demands self-awareness, discipline, and the willingness to face your weaknesses. It requires breaking old habits, challenging limiting beliefs, and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Growth often comes through challenges, failures, and difficult experiences. Many people avoid discomfort, but true leaders embrace it. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. They do not fear failure because they see it as a teacher. They do not resist change because they know that without change, there is no progress. If you want to master self-leadership, you must develop a mindset of continuous improvement. This means setting personal growth goals, committing to lifelong learning, and consistently evaluating yourself. It means seeking feedback, not as criticism, but as a tool for growth. It means refining your skills, expanding your knowledge, and constantly pushing yourself beyond what you think you're capable of. Growth does not happen by accident. It happens by design. The best leaders are students first. They are always learning, always evolving, always refining their craft. They do not wait for someone else to push them. They push themselves. They do not wait for opportunities to grow. They create them. They do not settle for average. They demand excellence from themselves. This is what separates those who merely exist from those who leave a lasting impact. No matter where you are in life, there is always another level of growth waiting for you. There is always a greater version of yourself that you have yet to meet. Your future success depends on your present commitment to growth. If you stop improving, you stop leading. If you stop learning, you stop progressing. If you stop challenging yourself, you stop advancing. The path to self-leadership is never earning, because true leaders never stop growing.